one of the exciting things, you'll get your turn. One of the exciting things about this is when you see people in, I just get excited. I remember when the first convention I went to, Marvel Comic Convention as a child, because I've been doing this for a long time. And in fact, I think I got some pictures of some of this. But, and it was just so exciting to see people in costume. If you've ever liked anime or comics or film, and there's a character that you want to dress up as. I personally found it very liberating to put on a mask and run around in the streets of New York. It was just, you started out, you might have been a little reluctant, but again, liberated by the mask. And I started thinking, I said, I'll bet that's part of the way that these heroes actually feel, dual identity and all that. So, anyway, we are gifted with a wonderful, wonderful panel of cosplay experts who are here with us, who I will introduce now. We have Mr. Wendell Smith Sr.
Howdy.
Rikku, and feel free to stick your hand up and wave when I say your name. Rikku Cosplay. Iggy Cosplay. Handpan? That HA, I want that to be Han so bad.
I have not solo. As a matter of fact.
Chance to say Han. And Coconut Jacobs. And we have an extra panelist here. You're not on my list. Who are you? Lulu Jacobs. All right. We get a hand for Lulu. Thank you for joining. And I am, of course, Ulysses Campbell. I do a show called Fantastic Forum. I'm going to put in a shameless plug for the show, www.fantasticforum.tv, and we're on in Washington, D.C., and in Montgomery County, and in Fairfax, and in Arlington, and PG, and Baltimore. So, and if you can't see it in any of those areas, you can always watch online. So, absolutely, I can see the way you all are dressed, you'd love this thing. Yeah. Now, I put together a little slideshow, so we'll dim the lights.
Technology.
And then we'll get right to it. Just some wonderful examples of cosplay. Now, I hope this is the right show because I used a different font. Cosplay forum thing, so I'm really hoping. Okay, yeah, all right. Yeah, now, as far as I can tell, because I've done a little bit of research on this, the first actual cosplayer, and see, in my day, we used to call it costuming, which will give you some idea of how old I am. But looking at the bald spot on the back of my head doesn't. But Forrest J. Ackerman, who had been for years the publisher of Famous Monsters of Filmland, and incredible collector. As I said, near as I can tell, was the first guy to dress up in a costume at the 1939 Worldcon as John Cabal from the movie of H.G. Wells' Things to Come. So I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun when we do this. Sometimes we can be kind of dangerous.
That's cuddly, not dangerous.
My friend, you have a strange idea. The sexy Jedi.
Wow, that's good. Ow!
And that's me.
Nice shorts.
Whoa, that's cool. Yeah, let me tell you something. These folks up here know a thing or two. I'm looking at these pictures. Of course, the red skull with the high indeed.
Who's that guy?
Never seen him before.
Comic Con.
I have to confess, I've always loved wings. And I remember, the adage I used to use was a wings win. If you entered some kind of costume contest and you had wings, you were going to win. You're going to fly away with the prize. Oh, and that's me. Yeah. Now I have to confess, that's and we'll get into talking a little bit about this. That's a store-bought costume, and ordinarily I made my costumes. But, I saw Spider-Man, and I knew that I was not going to be able to make a Spider-Man as good as that. Now, I'll have you know that when there's a friend of mine who cosplays, when she saw the costume, and I told her it was store-bought, she says, oh yeah, well, a lot of those store-bought costumes have those muscles. I said, no, that's me. This is spandex. Yeah. Now, this one I just threw in. Because some of the costumes that people make are so fabulous. Especially if you recognize the character, and I know as a cosplayer, this is one of the things that has inspired me. You see some of this stuff and you're like, wow. That's another one. Big bar, yeah. And just the idea that somebody would cosplay this. And the other thing is, these costumes, they belong in a movie. Cosplayers, you spend so much time scrutinizing whatever it is you're going to cosplay, and I've got to believe that the film and wardrobe departments of the Hollywood studios, in some cases, could not do a better job than some of the cosplayers that you will see. Yes, and this another point that I wanted to bring out. This illustrates the fact that sometimes whatever physical gifts you may bring to your costume can help you. Because I saw that and I'm like, well, that's Lady Death. I've freaking seen Lady Death. That's Lady Death. Oh, and this is without question the best star sapphire I have ever seen. A cosplayer named Margie Cox, and she does a whole bunch of stuff. But
very sweet person too. Very nice.
Well, and that's the thing. Most cosplayers aren't. You don't always have to exactly look the part.
That is epic.
Yeah, but you wear it with pride.
The guy in the middle doesn't look like he's got a lot of pride. Looks like he's more enjoying it than prideful.
He's the one with the bow in his hair.
It looks like we're regretful enjoyment though.
And our friend Wendell Smith again. And yet another one of his costumes. Now, this is the other thing that's different from the days when I used to actively cosplay at conventions, because what you did, you wore like the same costume for the whole 3 or 4 days or whatever it was. These kids today, my goodness, they make like 10 costumes. You got people changing costumes 3 times, 4 times in a day. I don't know how they do it. And isn't this lovely? Now, what character is this?
This is Maya Fey from Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney series. It's available on the Nintendo DS. It's very fun, even if you're not an attorney.
Objection!
Overruled. And on that note, here's our friend Iggy as Tony Stark.
That's what it looked like outside of makeup. Most people don't even know what that even looks like.
Well, you said it, so.
Yeah.
I figured, he must be ready to review.
Now the real question is, what's in the glass?
Apple juice.
Not this time.
Mama.
That's my steampunk outfit.
Wow.
Yeah.
We'll let that sink in for a minute.
I like the flask.
Is that the cotton big? Is that soccer cotton big?
Yes, indeed it is. Indeed it is. And I found these Andorians, and I just thought they were so great. I said, I've got to get a picture with you all.